That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
His balls are different in person.
And Leon Searcy.
So they were smelling themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
With no deal.
What is actually happening as we come on the air right now is a Cinderella staving off elimination, and it's because of Leon Searcy, who is willing High Point to the dub. Welcome into XL Primetime. That right there, the NCAA tournament as a whole is worth one of these big old to get you going, because the NCAA tournament is underway. We're at Twin Peaks, Atlantic, and Kernan. We would love for you to drop on by, post up here, get one of those big old tall 450 Bud Lights, and get going with some college basketball. Matt, how excited is Leon to pull High Point off the L side of the opening round?
Well, we started to break it down a little bit, and I said, bro, if High Point wins, it's not going to be the point where everybody's going to start betting on everything you say.
Yeah.
And then Leon got a little nervous about that.
No
part of that.
Where are we?
Don't bet the mortgage on me, Pri.
Yeah. Okay.
I want no one homeless.
Well, it really basically 3/4 of the second half is still available.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot could happen. High Point is trailing by 5 points right now to a 4-seed Purdue. High Point's a 13-seed. Look, everyone's looking at the double-digit seeds, trying to figure out how is it going to go down. Mm-hmm. But High Point clawing their way back.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the game came on at 12:40 on True TV, so I started watching the game, right? And it was a back and forth. You know, it was back and forth, the lead changes or whatever. Now, Purdue's half-court defense forced them into a lot of turnovers, so I was concerned because they were down by 10 at the half.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm in trouble. High Point. But I'm looking here on the TV. I'm looking here at the bracket right now, and High Point is within 4 points.
Yeah.
They're within 4 points.
Let's just remember, too, they're playing a team that, but for last season, has a history of choking in this tournament.
Yeah, you might even call them
in the first round.
Yeah, you might describe them as the Rick Barnes of the Big Ten. That's kind of the team that they've been.
Did they lose to a 16 seed?
Yeah. So
when they were 1?
I think they lost to a 15.
15 seed when they were 2. Okay,
no, they did lose to a 16.
I thought they did. Yeah.
Okay. You're right. They did.
Yeah.
They did.
But they did make it into the
2 years ago. Yeah,
2 years ago.
They made it into the title game last year. So we got a lot of big names, a lot of different things to cover. We will attack it from a lot of different angles. But if you guys want to make plans to either drop on by later or drop on by during our show, here's how we set it up today. As soon as we come on the air is when happy hour begins here at Twin Peaks. Corner of Atlantic and Kernan. We're in the Walmart Plaza. If you're heading east, it's to the right, so real easy to pull on in here, but you get the big 22-ounce signature draft. You can take advantage of that. Select shots, wine by the glass, select apps for $4.99. You got plenty of other things that you could dig into here as well, and you got hoop. TVs everywhere, lads, which is what you want. So you got the big old bar. You got a nice fireplace behind us. You got all the lumberjack look of a lodge inside Twin Peaks. And I'm sure plenty of our 1010XL fans have posted up here before.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing 30 TVs, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Well, and this could be one of those 4-day stretches where the bartender asks, are you coming back tomorrow? You know, that kind of deal.
Or are you ever going home?
Are you ever leaving? You again? You know, that type of deal. But if you're a good tipper, you'll get good service. You know, that's how it goes.
Right.
But just make plans to come on by either while we're on the air or at any point. Make it one of your stops here at Twin Peaks at the corner of Atlantic and Kernan. So I filled out the bracket. I told Helmets and Heels that TLD and I went over this last night. We had a great night at the Golf Club of Southampton, and then I came home and we got the brackets out and started laying it down. Now, you guys heard what I said. I picked Gonzaga as one of my wild cards, which is an 8 seed, because I feel like they've got a shot maybe to make some noise, and so I'm going to ride that wave. It may end way, way, way early for me, but I'm trying to figure out which one of these 1 seeds can go down, and I've got Houston, who's terrible at the free throw line, Leon, as a team that is vulnerable, and it's going to be even before this weekend is out. What do you
Really? I got Houston in my Final Four. The 1 seed that I got going out, the team that's been kind of erratic over the last couple of games is Auburn. I got Auburn going out.
Oh, wow.
I've got them going out.
Wow.
I've got them in the Elite 8, but I've got them losing to Iowa State.
Okay.
All right.
They've lost 3 of their last 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't get away from that.
Absolutely.
I got Gonzaga going out round 1, baby, to the Dogs and Ace and Newell.
So
round 1.
So dog on
Right out
dog
of the
crime.
gate. Yeah.
See, that's an SEC homer in you.
No, that's
okay.
Georgia's playing well right now.
They are playing good. They are playing good. Look, any of us, whatever logic we have for or against, whatever pick we're making or whatever pick we think that you're making that isn't, we're going to come up with something. But the Bulldogs of Gonzaga are tried and true. At the very least, this is what did we say yesterday? 26 straight years that Mark Few has had a team in the NCAA tournament. Mike White is, well, it's been a minute, okay? It's been a, how long is it?
I mean, he's rebuilding Georgia.
Yeah, he is.
His last 2 years of Florida, they didn't get in the tournament.
Yeah.
First 3 they did. 2020 they didn't.
Right. Yeah.
Because no one did. Because they didn't have a tournament.
Yeah. In 2014, they made it to the Elite Eight. That was the best run Mike White ever had, and that was the last time they were able to win the SEC and in the tournament. And then obviously here they are a decade later, and they haven't. Look, he hasn't done a whole lot at Georgia, but heck, a lot of the SEC hadn't done a whole lot when you add it all up until this year, and then all of a sudden it all came together.
That sounds a lot like someone who's still bitter about Mike White in Florida is what that sounds like. It takes a little bit to rebuild a program.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Okay, so now are you creating a fan club for more coaches that haven't gotten it done?
No, I'm just saying that, sounds a little bit like bitter Gator fans, all I'm saying.
It's unbelievable. That's such a convenient go-to for him.
It is.
It has nothing to do with it.
100% is. Yeah. I admit it.
Yeah. This is you know what I'm doing right now? I'm defending Gonzaga. That's what I'm doing. Okay, because you came after my Gonzaga pick. That's what I'm looking at. All right, Leon, what else you got?
Well, I want to ask you this question. I've got Florida moving forward, of course, up against Norfolk State.
Right.
But I got them going up against UConn in the second round. You're a little nervous about that.
Well, I'm nervous by name alone.
Yeah.
By name alone. But UConn ain't the same UConn.
Okay.
And back in 2014, that was the team that ultimately took care of Florida. They went on and won.
Yeah.
The Natty.
That was
year.
a buzzsaw team.
Yeah, it was a
really good Florida team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go back to that anyway. I'm just looking at UConn right now as not the same bunch of cats. They were able to win.
No, they had 3 guys on the front court that would just absolutely kill you.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about this last couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They had 3 bigs that would kill you last year.
Well, they went from one unbelievable big to the next guy, Klingon, that came in there and just absolutely took over as well as a young star. And then they also had a lot of talent in the backcourt.
They're kind of like Florida is now.
Yes, that's
very similar.
Yeah, most people are looking at Florida as being, okay, whatever you take away from them, they're going to come up with an answer for you. They're going to be able to hit you from the outside, hit you from the inside. They are not going to be caught off guard with whatever you're trying to defend and take away from them. That's the part that's good. And then now you got to go Dan Hurley versus Todd Golden. And where is Todd Golden in all this? I've been listening to a handful of podcasts, listening to the analysis, and Todd Golden's name is not being mentioned nearly as much as maybe as it should, at least with the job that he's done this year.
I think he's done a great job. I think he's developed those guys. I said this yesterday. The improvement that Clayton and Richard and Condon made was remarkable.
Yeah.
Remarkable. Got Hawk playing like a first-round NBA pick. You bring in an elite transfer from FAU. He's playing at a high level, Elijah. They're dangerous right now. They can go 9-10 guys deep that can score, and they can go 3 or 4 guys that can create. When you think about that, when you get to the NCAA tournament, and you've got 3 or 4 guys that can create shots for other guys.
Yeah.
And you can shoot the ball like they shoot the ball. I'm telling you right now, man, unless they really stumble, I don't see anybody beating them. They're too balanced.
Well, that's what they've proven up until this point. Now, Cooper, Flagg, and company, they are pretty dang good too, but they've got 2 injuries to deal with, Brown and Flagg, and we'll kind of see where they're at. But you're just trying to figure out which one of these hot teams can stay hot. And Duke dispatched a lot of other teams in the ACC and made them look regular. Meanwhile, Florida in the SEC, you saw a bunch of teams just battling and slugging it out against one another, and Florida won their share down the stretch. Think of what Florida did: picked off a number 1 at home, picked off a number 1 on the road, picked off another top 2 team on the road, then beat that team again in the postseason. The team that beat them in Tennessee, they picked them off for the SEC championship. And so their quality of wins down the stretch is pretty dang good as much as anybody. Who else do you have in your Final Four?
My Final Four, I have, let me pull it up real quick. I've got Iowa State.
Uh-huh.
Alabama, Houston, and Florida.
Okay. All right. And so Iowa State is another team that's dealing with a couple of injuries. We'll find out whether that catches up to them, but they're very good. I ended up going Michigan State through Iowa State, Sparty over Cyclone to move into the 4. So we'll see what happens. Did you fill out your bracket, Matt?
Yeah,
What do you got?
it's not just Cooper Flagg at Duke. They got 4 guys that are probably going to be picked in the first 20, 25 picks of the draft.
Yeah, as goes Duke, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're very talented. I have what I said earlier, and I haven't moved off it. I've got all the ones advancing.
Oh,
I know.
What
It's
imagination
like,
you have.
I know it's like Debbie Downer for you guys, but I don't, look at those 4 ones.
I know, but if we go back,
I think Auburn could lose, maybe. But Auburn is really good.
yeah, they had
It has been really good for 95% of the season.
Yeah, they were, but this is the 5% we're talking about that isn't
matters.
good.
Yes,
that's
I agree.
the most important stretch that you're talking about. But I look at the coach. We talked about whether or not Bruce Pearl can get the job done with the roster he has, the teams that he's had. He's got to make sure that he can get the job done. And is he going to do it? And that's going to be he is now being regarded as one of the top teams in America, has been pretty much the entire year.
Right.
They're 28-5. Their net rating is plus 35. You take a look at their offense and defensive ratings, they're outstanding. And so strength of schedule, it's up there. Who they've played, the amount of points that they've won by, they're top 4 right now. Okay, they're quality through and through when it comes to the KenPom.
So I think Houston could lose, but I'll say this. Because Houston is kind of iffy shooting. They're hot and cold, okay? But look in that bracket. Who in that bracket scares you? Tennessee and Kentucky, one of them's going to beat the other, so it's only going to be one of them that can beat them.
But that'll get into that'll get them into the 8, correct?
The rest of that bracket is Wofford, Utah State, UCLA, Troy, Xavier, Illinois, High Point, Purdue, McNeese, Clemson, Gonzaga, Georgia. Who's going to beat Houston in that bracket?
Well, see, I look at it like
maybe the winner of Tennessee, Kentucky in the 16.
Because right now Houston is terrible at the free throw line. That's going to be one of their Achilles heels when you're just trying to figure out if they keep getting pushed to the line because everyone else is going to use up all their fouls on them. Are they going to be able to get the job done?
I mean, isn't this their 3rd season of being a 1 seed?
I think it's 3rd straight.
Third straight season.
Yeah.
At some particular point, they've got to show and prove and win a title. But they got a cakewalk.
Struggle shooting, bro.
I know, bro. But you just named the guys there in that bracket, and I'm looking at it.
Right? Look at that bracket. Like,
bro, they got layups.
That's the easiest side of the bracket of any of the 4 sides.
Yeah, they got layups
Easiest.
all the way until maybe the Elite 8, where they might play Tennessee.
See, that's why I went ahead and used Gonzaga to wipe them out before they ever got there. Okay, before they ever get out of the first weekend. All right, you guys let us know. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, especially if you are looking at some of these, big storylines. Just as an example, the SEC with a record 14 teams in this year's field. Okay, that is a stunning number. Only the second time that there have been 4 top 2 seeds from the same conference. So it is not easy to take down whomever is representing the SEC because they definitely have been able to get it done. That's for sure. So we'll see how it goes. We'll go along today. I may throw more than one perfecto at you two cats today as this tournament gets rolling. But you guys let us know where you're at, what your bracket looks like. You have got Creighton holding off Louisville right now, 81-66. What's the high point score?
They're down 8.
They're down 8.
Down 8 shooting free throws.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to keep an eye on that one. We got to get some NFL talk in. AFC rankings for all your football teams after free agency. Where would Jacksonville fall in? Let's do a little bit of that. And then some spring ball because we can't get you too far away from college ball. There are practices right now.
Kirby Smart's not happy right now.
Yeah.
Really.
Which he's not
happy
all right,
at all.
so let's at least touch on all that coming up on XL Primetime. From Twin Peaks, corner of Atlantic and Kernan, just drop on by. We're in the big Walmart Plaza, one of the out anchor parcels right by the overpass. Drop on by Twin Peaks with XL Primetime.
Wonder what Rick Ballou would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
I like sports. I could do something in sports. Like the general manager of a baseball team.
Rick Ballou.
Well, it doesn't even have to be the general manager. Maybe I could be like an announcer, like a color man.
Evenings on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville. I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Navy Mutual would like to salute all Medal of Honor recipients that have been given our nation's highest award. In 1990, Congress designated March 25th as National Medal of Honor Day, and it was signed into law by President George H.W. Bush.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow. I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but...
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Jacksonville runs on dreams, and Haymaker Coffee is a local brand fueling the next generation. Keep each day strong with a Haymaker. Fuel for the morning hustle, the late night, and every step of the way. Bold flavors for the bold city. Online at HaymakerCoffeeCo.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren from Helmets and Heels wishing you a happy new year. Start 2025 off strong by giving your car the expert care it truly deserves at Big Chief Tire. Their skilled technicians will keep your vehicle running smoothly all year long, whether you're commuting, traveling, or just cruising around town. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment and start the new year off right. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Joe C for Hard Rock Bet, and it's finally here. You've got your bracket. Now you've got to head to hardrock.bet and check out all the big games. This is it. March is all about underdogs, buzzer beaters, unforgettable moments. Hard Rock Bet keeps the action going with promos, boosts, and more all tournament long. Don't miss out. Be ready for tip-off. Download the Hard Rock app now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
NCAA tournament underway. First day of what will be 4 unbelievable days. You could argue the best 4 days in sports. That might be just a little mini here come the judge moment coming up here in a second. But 4 days where you go from 64 to 16. It's fast and furious. We're talking about High Point trying to pull off an upset. They're trailing by 6. Louisville trying to make a little bit of a run late against Creighton. Those are the 2 games we got our eyes on, and you can come on and put eyes on all these big screens here at Twin Peaks, corner of Atlantic and Kernan. Real easy to drop into the big Walmart Plaza. And by the way, on Thursdays, not only you got the 450 Bud Light 22-ouncer, you got the Pick Your Mule. $6 Pick Your Mule, and it could be the classic, the Irish, the Kentucky. It doesn't matter, but this ain't like you're going out west and you got to pick your mule to go on a 10-mile ride. No, this is Pick Your Mule, man, and it's $6 and you will love it. They've got happy hour later in the day as well, so drop on by and check out everything that's cooking here at Twin Peaks. All right, so we're going to weave through this hoop, and then we're going to get to the a little Kirby Smart talk that Matt brought up a minute ago. But your national champion, just to repeat it one more time, Leon, your national championship game and national champion, who do you have right now?
My national championship game is Houston, Florida.
And you have?
Florida winning it all.
And I like him saying it again just so JJ can be queued up, because I know how much he loves Florida. You know what I mean?
I love
orange and blue to the death.
Orange and blue to the death.
And so I just wanted to hear it again. Matt,
I can be partial.
Okay. Yes, that's right. You can be impartial. All right. So what is your what's your game?
It's Florida winning it all.
Yeah, but against who?
Florida. What do I have?
Huh?
Florida Duke, right?
You know
what you got?
Semi.
Listen, you know if we all pick Florida to win, that's the mojo on them, right?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I just want to know. I want to know what you guys are doing.
All right.
Yeah,
Florida Duke. Okay. I put Bama in over Duke, and we'll see whether that comes true or not. You think about the guys. If Grant Nelson is healthy for Alabama, they can get going again. Mark Sears is outstanding. They've really had some inspiring performances. Obviously, they get up down the floor.
They can't guard anybody, man.
They score a ton of points.
I know they do, but they can't guard anybody.
Yeah, I know. And so that's really what it comes down to, whereas Duke is efficient on both sides of the floor, it seems like. All right, now I mentioned the number of teams that the SEC has right now, and it is a staggering bunch when you just consider how many of them have been able to make it into the tournament this year, and it rivals some of the great numbers that we've seen in years past. And so I'm just wanting to know, well, actually, let's just do it, JJ, if you don't mind, to crank up the ukulele. Oh, yes, the beautiful sounds. Pacifico, from the Atlantic to the Pacifico, with a Mexican lager, to see if you guys can get a little perfecto here. Found in Baja, imported by surfers. For those who live life, anchors up, and you definitely got a lot of basketball to consume, and you can do it with a cold Pacifico. All right, so I mentioned the SEC set a record for the most number of teams coming from one conference, a record 14 teams coming from one conference. The previous record was owned by the Big Ten, and it was only a short few years ago. Can you name the teams that were representing the Big Ten and let me just kind of get this thing just a little closer to what I'm talking about. Look at the top 2 seeds, okay, across this bracket. All right, I'm just going to give them to you right now. All right, you have got Auburn as a top 2 seed, Bama as a top 2 seed, Tennessee as a top 2 seed, Florida as a top 2 seed. All right. Do we have anybody else that is a top 2 seed? Those are the only ones, correct?
From the SEC.
From the SEC.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so that's a total of 4, okay? One other conference, Big Ten, had 4 of the top 8 seeds, meaning they were a 1 or a 2 seed.
Okay.
Going back a couple of seasons ago. Can you name them? And none of them won the national championship.
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be Michigan State,
Ohio State.
Wait, are we counting USC and UCLA?
Well, no, we're not counting.
All right.
Yeah, come on.
I'm just checking. That's all.
All right. That's a good.
Because Oregon and, all right, so I'm going to say Michigan State.
Purdue.
Indiana. And Ohio State.
There's no
All right,
way
so give me your
Indiana
4
was
again.
a top 1 or 2 seed recently.
Michigan State.
Right.
Purdue.
Right.
Indiana. Who else did we say, Leon? Ohio State.
All right, and then give me your 4.
Ohio State.
My 4?
Yeah.
Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois,
That's a good one.
and Ohio State.
That's a good one. Illinois is a good one.
All right, so you guys at least sprinkled in a little
forgot
bit.
about Illinois.
Big Surse got 2 out of the 4, okay, which is pretty good. Yours again? Who did you?
Michigan State,
Right.
Purdue, Indiana, and I said Ohio State, but I like his Illinois.
Okay. All right. You should stay with Illinois because they are definitely in there. It was no Michigan State, no Purdue.
Wow.
Michigan was a 1 seed. Okay. This is how quickly we.
What year is this?
23.
Okay.
So Michigan was a 1 seed and made it to the Elite 8 and lost to UCLA. Iowa was a 2 seed.
Iowa was a 2 seed?
A 2 seed. And Oregon beat them in the second round. Okay. And let's see here. Ohio State was a 2 seed. The Illini was a 1. And they lost in the second round.
So I got 2 of 4, but if you let me slip Illinois in the
at
past
the
the
end.
net, I got 3
at
of
the
4.
end.
Right.
So anyway, but that's and we're only going back a few short years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just for at least for SEC fans, they had 4 of the top 8 seeds, along with now setting the record with 14 tournament seeds, and none of those made it into the Final 4. And so I don't know whether there's. But college basketball every single year gets crazier and crazier. It's the most unpredictable thing out there right now.
Well, I'm thinking about Michigan. I mean, that was Juwan Howard's team, right? They got him to a 1 seed?
Yeah.
Because he got fired last year.
Yeah, we went back to 2021.
Yeah. 2021?
Yeah. So, but honestly, that was and take a look at what the Big Ten is cranking out right now. That was 4 pretty dang good teams that were coming in. You had 2 1s and 2 1s and 2 2s. And so, and it's basically what Florida and Auburn are and what Tennessee and Alabama are. 2 1s and 2 2s, just to find out whether or not any of these.
If the ones go chalk, you'll have 2.
Okay, yeah.
Right? If Auburn and Florida go chalk and Tennessee beats Houston, that could easily happen.
Yeah.
Could easily happen.
That's what you're trying to boil it down to. If they can get on a run, if any of these teams can get on a run, right now Auburn's being second guessed for all the right reasons. They've lost 3 of their last 4 against some pretty good basketball teams, but they have lost. Tennessee plays very well, but then they just not able to come up with enough offense late. Bama, like you just said earlier, they can score a bunch, but they can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
And then you just have to figure out exactly what the third team represents.
So let me ask you this, Joe. With the deck stacked with the SEC with 14 teams and 3 teams in the top 2, if y'all don't have 2 in the Final 4, that would be a disappointment.
It would be, because if you look at the 4 Big Ten teams that were all a 1 or a 2 seed, none of them made it to the Final 4. That was an utter disappointment.
Yeah, it was a disappointment. Wow.
And so you have to. I have 2 making it in. I got Bama and Florida making it in. A lot of people, I'm sure, have some version of either Auburn or Florida or Auburn and Tennessee, whoever it is.
Right.
But yeah, you have to look. They come in storming college basketball this year based on what they've done.
And listen, if y'all have all 4 represented in the Final 4, I probably won't be able to come in the studio then.
Well,
that would mean Alabama is going to beat
Alabama,
Duke,
Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee. Let's just say that.
I mean, of that bracket, I think Wisconsin's probably got the best chance to beat Duke, not Alabama.
Yeah. And Whiskey, I worry about. I got Whiskey going out early.
Just because that tempo. I mean, they're up 8 on Montana right now.
Are they?
Yeah,
okay.
at halftime.
All right, well, I'll get back to you then because I did pick Montana to pick them off. So
that was you who said Montana yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought it was Leon.
Yeah, no, Leon started with them. I'm not. I kind of climbed aboard on the Leon train
on the Grizz bandwagon.
But all I was doing was just trying to look for just little weaknesses in certain teams that may lead you, to pick an upset here or there.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is, Duke can play Alabama's tempo, and they can defend better.
Yeah,
Duke might have a problem with Wisconsin's tempo. That's why I think Wisconsin's got a chance if they can get there. Like Arizona's not beating Duke, Oregon's not beating Duke, right? I mean, unless Duke completely collapses.
But hey,
they're in the 4.
You mentioned Dana Altman yesterday. That's a good team.
It's a good coach and a good team, yes, but they don't have enough.
If we just go back to 2021, we just mentioned one of the teams. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it back up.
I mean, at some point, it's dudes with Duke. So
Oregon,
you got 4 guys that are going to be picked in the top 20 of the NBA draft. You got 4 NBA players in that team.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody's looking at with Duke.
Yeah, they got to prove that they can get it done. John Shire, younger coach, less experience, but we'll see if he can get it done. Heck, Todd Golden is a less experienced coach that a lot of people are thinking can get it done. All right, you mentioned Kirby Smart. Hit us with what we got there.
Oh, they started spring practice, and he came out, I think it was 2 days ago, and said every freshman that enrolled early, the guys that sign in and enroll early, they're not in shape. Every one of them.
They're not what?
Every one of them. They're not in shape, and they can't handle a practice.
That is classic.
And he said guys don't want.
What did you expect?
And he said guys don't want to be coached. They don't want to be coached hard. And guess what?
Okay.
This is the environment you're in now.
Right. I was going to say, am I now hearing another layer of Kirby sounding like Nick?
But I will say this.
The next
he
step?
definitely is, but I will say this. He definitely is. And that's not surprising at all. It also might be a little bit of a watch this hand while the other hand has another player arrested on charges of reckless driving.
Oh, so you're saying that headline could be coming later? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he said he's taking the stance of these guys don't want to be coached, these guys are out of shape, because he doesn't want to focus on Nitro Tuggle, who got arrested for reckless driving.
Yeah.
Again, another Georgia player.
Yeah. So you're probably correct there. This is deflection. Okay. This is get your eye off of whatever the main storyline is up there.
Plus, you want Nitro Tuggle to be successful just because of the name, man.
Nitro.
Nitro Tuggle.
Nitro Tuggle.
Well, that's actually perfect for a driving arrest.
It is. It totally is. But if that's not like an all-star, an all-American wide receiver, what is? Seriously.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Nitro Tuggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Man.
He might be a Kane in a year.
Who? Nitro
Tuggle, yeah.
Yeah. What he's play? Wide receiver?
Yeah.
We'll take it.
He'd take
all day. 5-star?
On name alone.
Name
right?
alone, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And you would expect if he's at Georgia, he probably is a 5-star. But I do believe that Kirby's got to figure out how to coach today's player with every single year the evolution of more power to the player and less power to the coach is happening.
Well, listen, all this stuff that's going on with it, he's got to make an example of somebody. And I know he does it because these 5-stars, they talk. If he makes examples of these kids when they're reckless driving, I mean, it's going to send shock waves. But at some particular point, you can't keep embarrassing the university. You got to send somebody home.
All right, so let's give him a little college football when we come back.
A big dog needs to go home, yes.
Where all of a sudden the other eyes in that locker room get big.
Yeah.
They went, oh, my.
Yeah, because
that cat is packing his stuff up.
Yeah, because they keep doing it. They understand that because of their name or their stars, there's no real repercussions for it.
Yeah.
So he got to send a big dog so it can send shockwaves in the locker room like, oh, snap, he sent him home?
The funny thing is he's been dealing with this for 2 years now.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
They're still doing it.
I know.
You're getting new kids coming to campus and doing it.
Like all of a sudden, part of their recruiting is, all right, let me show you how to race a hot rod out on the big streets of Athens. All right.
I also think it's also part, excuse me, and he's right. There's no doubt he's right when he says this, that you now have young cats coming in from high school who they just think differently now.
Right.
They just do,
Well,
man.
heck,
they're getting paid before they even step on the field in college.
Right.
And I'm fine with that, whatever. But you got to work. And these guys, if not one of those guys is in shape, if that's really the story and it's not a, let me say this why you ignore the guy that got arrested for driving, if that's truly the case, man, that's bad. That's bad. It doesn't mean they won't get in shape and they won't be productive. It's just bad that entire early class, and I think they had something like 12 or 15 of them signing early, ready to participate in spring drills.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's bad. That's just a bad sign.
Listen, Jimmy, our conditioning test, Jimmy knew right then and there because when we stepped on the campus, we had a conditioning test of the 16-110s. If you didn't make the 16-110s, guess what? You had to wake up every morning at 6 a.m. and run them until you made them.
Yeah. See, that is getting the players' attention.
Exactly.
All right, so let's stay in the SEC and at least talk a little bit more about a couple of storylines. Jaylen Milroe runs yesterday at his pro day, and he lit people up in terms of headlines. So we can definitely see whether or not that guy can move up in the minds of people maybe thinking about drafting him a little early.
Let me just say this to you.
Yeah.
24 players
early
at Georgia.
Yeah.
24. Kirby is saying not one of these guys, not one, was in shape.
You know what he's doing, though. He's throwing a blanket over them, and he's saying one is pulling the rest of them down. So now, guess what? It's going to be rough for all of you. It's a classic way of doing it if you're a coach. But the other part of it is that he is feeling a little heat as far as trying to keep these guys fully focused on what they need to do. We'll stay on that, and then we'll get back to the hoop talk. It's XL Primetime, Twin Peaks right here at the corner of Atlantic and Kernan. We are in the big Walmart Supercenter Plaza, so stop on by. You got stuff going all day long. You know it. It's day one of the NCAA tournament, and it's XL Primetime.
Now, another March update, served up hot by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Florida Pest Control.
I'm Molly McDonald with your March Madness NCAA tournament update. With round one officially underway, 9-seeded Creighton takes down 8-seeded Louisville 89-75. Over to the Eastern region, where Wisconsin currently leads at halftime against Montana 40-32, and Purdue continues to lead against High Point 67-58, with just a couple minutes to go in the second half. Just getting going is first-seeded Houston leading against 16th-seeded ISU Edwardsville 40-18 with 4:30 to go in the first half. Coming up shortly at 2:50 is the first-seeded Auburn Tigers, who will be taking on the 16th-seeded Alabama State Hornets. Another game on the radar is 5th-seeded Clemson Tigers taking on the 12th-seeded McNeese. Tip-off for that game will be at 3:15. Stay tuned in to 1010XL for all your March Madness scores and matchups all day today and tomorrow.
Working hard every day to get a little bit better for Duval. This is 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored and administrator, Everbank N.A.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
Prosser here. No matter what you do, man, you love consistency. And when it comes to selling your home for Chad and Sandy,
Good times are bad. They're there to help you, and you're going to get the most that you can. The economy actually showing positive signs. Now may be the time to sell your home at the price you want, and it's easy to find out. Get friendly expert help from the Jacksonville agents who are there for you. My agents, Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you need more space with a growing family or working from home. Whatever your reasons, Chad and Sandy come through for you as the local real estate experts I trust and recommend. Chad and Sandy, in fact, will guarantee you this. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. John and Ursula in Green Meadow said, I was not in great health, so we decided to downside to an easier place to manage. First, we needed to sell our Green Meadows home fast. Unfortunately, after 185 days, our home failed to sell. With another realtor, we made the switch, though, to Chad and Sandy. Sold it in 12 days. You can, too. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200.
Gun charges, drug charges. I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony, and I specialize in handling these types of felony cases. Stay out of trouble. But if you don't, call me at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and there's so many cool products that are on the line at Cycles of Jacksonville. The showroom is Atlantic and Regency, and we're talking, Greg, you've got from any level of price point, the experienced rider to the inexperienced on-road, off-road.
We've got it. We've got ATVs, we've got motorcycles, we've got scooters, we even have the new Honda boats. We've got something for everyone.
Don't forget about the boat line from Honda. It's all right there, waiting for you. Atlantic and Regency or Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Every morning that you wake up in a pest-free home is a good morning. And with Florida Pest Control's Pest-Free 365 service, you can. It's more than just a pest control or preventative maintenance plan. It's Florida Pest Control's promise that we'll be there providing pest-free living for your family all year long. And right now, our initial pest service is just $99. To learn more about our Pest-Free 365 service and to schedule your $99 initial pest service, visit flapest.com today.
Joe C. for Florida Home AC, and now's the time to tune up that heating and AC unit. Take advantage of their $69 seasonal tune-up special. Keep warm in the winter and cool in the summer with Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
NCAA tournament, it is on day one. You know how much you've been looking forward to this. Everyone's been pouring over their brackets, finally getting them in. And look, you had to hit a deadline. One of the brackets that I'm in, I don't mind saying this, I think it's probably not that big of a deal. Lady by the moniker of Church Lady sets it up. Okay?
Yeah.
Church Lady sets up an NCAA tournament bracket. Should she be going to confession for that? I have no idea. But Church Lady sets up the bracket. I get into that one. I got a couple of other ones that I'm in. We did the tournament draw the other night. We got one at the station. Max, who's engineering today, Philly fan that he is, he's my witness that I brought my brackets in before tip-off. I took pictures and made sure that everything was documented. But look, I can't help it, man. There's going to be action all over the place. Long game with some of the tournament odds, with the futures, and then picking these games, which I'm telling you, just based on what we've seen right now, none of it's easy.
No.
Okay?
High Point's getting ready to go down, bro. Hey,
2-minute mark. They're down by 9 points right now. They're fighters, man.
My
Look at
bracket's
this.
already busted.
Yeah, they're
Louisville
fighters.
lost to Creighton.
Oh, yeah. I took Creighton, so I was okay with that one.
Yeah, moment of silence. Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
High Point is going home,
Yeah.
man.
Leon,
Sad to
JJ's
say.
playing the music for you.
I appreciate it.
The appropriate sadness.
You know.
There's nothing like now. Honestly, do you have a horror story about your bracket? Because with that music in mind, one of mine, and this is why there's certain coaches or teams that I just despise. This goes all the way back to Gene Cady, okay? Now, listen, I love a Boilermaker.
It's always
right?
Purdue, man.
I know.
It's always Purdue.
I love a Boilermaker. Who doesn't, right? But those savages screwed me more than once, and they were one of the favorites, and I took them all the way. And they were one of the teams that was doused by a 15 seed or something like that in the first round going back in time. It took Purdue, it seemed like forever to recover from that. I know do you have a horror story that you can remember?
2 years ago, Purdue, I had them winning it all.
Oh, you did? You did?
Yeah.
Yes.
They lost to a 16.
And then they came back, and you did predict them last year to make it to the game after that carnage. So, yeah, I do know that it's such a crapshoot, especially like we have said. What is going on right now, just in terms of trying to figure out who's got the most experience, who can ride the wave of late season success, all that stuff, man. None of it is easy. All right, so let's get back to the Jaylen Milroe conversation. What do you guys think about his prospects, just period, on the face of what you've seen from Jaylen Milroe as a quarterback that can be successful in the National Football League? He had his pro day yesterday, sub 4.40, and all of a sudden they're starting to like Tony Romo would about Jaylen Milroe.
Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen. There you go, JJ. Oh,
exactly.
Yes. First of all, we know that he's a dynamic player. All right. He's got the athletic ability. He's got the arm strength. I think the long stuff he's great at. Maybe the shorter intermediate stuff he may not be as good at. They maybe have to work on. A good quarterback's coach in the NFL could work on that. But, yeah, I mean, he's got the escapability and he's got the wheels to where, you've definitely got to sustain him or he's going to make a big play. So, I mean, at your pro day, he ran well. I think someone is going to take a shot on him in the second round. I don't have any problem with that.
So you go second?
I think he go in the second.
Second? Wow.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him succeed because he's such a fun player to watch. There's no doubt about that. I just don't know that he's a quarterback in the NFL. I think he's like Taysom Hill. I think he's he can give you 6 or 7 plays at quarterback. Mm-hmm. He could throw it if you need it. If you're in a pinch, you need him to start, he could do it. But I think he's more of like a good, whatever you call Taysom Hill, the H-back. Right. He's that kind of guy.
Why do you think he didn't go back to Bama?
Well, I mean,
like
I don't
out
know,
of all
actually.
the guys, I feel like he would have another year in college would have helped him immensely.
I don't know, but we may find out 2 years down the road that it was Kalen DeBoer that said, I'm going somewhere else with my quarterback.
Maybe.
Could easily be that.
But just to play off of JJ's point, Michael Penix was one of the older cats in college when he went out with Kalen DeBoer to Washington and got over the injuries.
But had a really good first year with Kalen DeBoer, too.
Yeah.
Jaylen Milroe did not have a good first year with him.
Remember when Jaylen was beating Georgia and how good he looked and things like that point? You were like, oh, my gosh, this guy is turning a major corner. And then, he did regress. But I don't mind
a lot of that was also Jaylen getting to the perimeter and just being faster than the Georgia defense.
True. And that is his skill set right now.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a deep ball thrower, but maybe not the most accurate guy that can move the ball around and kind of just throw the entire route tree.
He's fun as hell to watch, man. I would love to see him play quarterback in the league. I just don't know that I don't know that he has the complete ability, the complete package to consistently, accurately throw those first and second level throws. So which are just critical in the league. That's where the game is won.
Right.
Wasn't that the gist on your man Jalen Hurts when he came out?
I think Jalen
was he a better ball thrower than
much
Milroe?
better, I think.
Really?
I think much better, yeah.
As far as touches, I know he had a rocket arm.
I mean, him coming out of Oklahoma, when he got to Oklahoma and he got in an offense that was fit to his skills, he looked phenomenal.
Okay.
As a thrower. It doesn't mean that Jalen Hurts can't. That Jaylen Milroe can't do that. Can't get to the NFL and get in a perfect spot and someone develops.
He doesn't show it to you consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it can't happen. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, and we can point to other guys that we had questions about coming into the National Football League that had better resumes. Let's just use Bo Nix as an example. Because Bo Nix, he was much higher in terms of the first round than I think most of us might have thought. I definitely thought that he would struggle a little bit. He did not. He may struggle in year 2 because defenses just have a way of figuring quarterbacks out sooner or later, and we'll see how they do it. But at the same time, he surprised some people. Okay, he definitely did.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can come up with a couple of other guys. Kalen DeBoer was a question mark. He was drafted late in the first round when they had already picked Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ends up going down and getting hurt. Penix looked okay down the stretch. So there's really no rhyme or reason. But those guys were second-guessed, and they look better than Jaylen.
But there's a significant difference between Michael Penix and Jaylen Milroe.
That's my point.
I mean, night and day.
That is 100% my point.
Yeah.
And we were second-guessing them.
I don't know that anybody was second-guessing Michael Penix. I think it was more along the lines, is he worthy of a first-round pick?
Well, but that's my second-guessing. That's what I mean.
All right.
Is that you're sitting there going, is he worthy of that? Is he going to be good enough? And he was able to step in there. Like, there's this dude from Louisville, Tyler, what is it? How do you say his last name? Is it
Shuck?
Tyler Hugg?
Huh?
Oh, Shuck. Yeah, Tyler Shuck.
Yeah. Shuck or Shook? Whatever. Shuck. All right. That guy has been through some injuries, but he is a big body with a good arm and can absolutely deliver the football on time.
And he's like
velocity.
25 or he's already old.
So
not that accurate, but yeah.
Well, no, I was going to say you would put him up there in terms of age and injury, but I thought he was a pretty accurate thrower.
He got injured at Oregon. He got injured at Texas Tech. He's been injured a lot.
Oh yeah,
man.
well traveled.
Yeah,
but that's not unlike Penix, is it not? From Indiana to Washington, injury.
Yeah, but Shuck never had a mega season.
No,
and Penix had back-to-back mega seasons.
I guess what I'm saying is that I feel like that is a guy that you may see a little bit later in the draft.
Maybe
that is a fourth rounder or whatever. Maybe even further than that.
I think Kyle McCord's the guy. I think Leon nailed that. I think Kyle McCord's the guy that's going to go higher than people think, like a third or fourth round.
Well, the only reason I'm bringing this guy up is because I'm trying to figure out who will be successful. Forget about where they're drafted.
Right.
I'm just saying a little bit later on that I like what I saw from him, just in terms of his ability to play the game.
You know what? If we went over every NFL team, I'm telling you right now, the majority teams have first round draft picks as their starting quarterback. So the idea that we can say someone's going to be successful from the fourth round,
right?
It's just not real. It's just rare. Bills first round, Dolphins first round, Patriots first round. Who's the Jets quarterback right now?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, they signed Justin
first rounder.
Fields. Yeah.
Cowboys, Dak. There you go. Dak was a fourth rounder. John, who's the Giants quarterback? Don't know yet. If it's Aaron Rodgers, it's first rounder.
Probably so.
Yeah, but it was Daniel,
Eagles,
and it was the first rounder.
Second rounder. Commanders, first rounder. Ravens, first rounder. Bengals, first rounder. Browns, if it's Deshaun, first rounder. Steelers.
But it's also
they don't know yet.
Yeah, they don't know.
Might be Rodgers.
Right, so Bears, first rounder. Lions, first rounder.
It's really
Packers
everyone
first.
except for San Francisco.
You really look at. If you're not a first rounder, you're probably not going to start in the NFL.
This is how it's happened over, say, the last 10 or 15 years, okay? Whereas before, you did find them a little further along.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
It's probably a bit longer than
Since
that.
the league has developed into a vertical league.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, so
no doubt.
So, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought it up because I got it right here, and let's at least finish out the hour with it. First-round quarterbacks drafted since 2000 that started for 3 different teams.
Wow.
Okay, just because they were drafted in the first round doesn't mean they're going to be successful for the long haul. Gosh, man, this actually could be a fun perfecto, but I'm just going to do it. Okay, these are guys that were drafted since 2000 in the first round that played for 3 different teams. Teddy Bridgewater played for 4. Sam Darnold has played for 3.
Right.
Sam Bradford has played for 3. Joey Harrington played for 3 and wasn't good with any of them.
Joey Harrington, wow.
Joey Flacco, God bless him. He won a Super Bowl with his first team, but he's played for a total of 5.
Still in the league.
Yeah, that's just from age alone that cat keeps playing. Jay Cutler played for 3.
Out of the league.
Jason Campbell, never really that good, played for 3. Jameis Winston has now played for 3. Carson Wentz, he had 1 good year, maybe 1.5. He's played for 3. Carson Palmer, very good. Ended up playing for 3 and was pretty dang good his entire career, except for the knee injury that got him. You ready? Blaine Gabbert has played for 3. Okay, but he's only been the starter 1. Baker has reclaimed his career and has played for 3. And Alex Smith was good until he was hurt and played for 3. Never great, but good. So that is a total of 15.
How many Borders play for?
2.
Just
the
2.
boat.
Yeah.
Just 2. Just the Rams and the Jags?
I believe so.
Why does that not sound right?
I believe that was it. But anyway, those are since 2015. So out of however many drafts we're talking about, 25 drafts, those are, and there's obviously other quarterbacks that have been taken in the first round that are staying with one team or maybe just on their second team right now. But that's a bunch, bro.
That is a bunch.
That is a bunch. All right, speaking of a bunch, there's a bunch of big screens here at Twin Peaks. We're at the corner of Atlantic and Kernan. You can make it one of your March headquarters as you drop on by and enjoy a cold one. They got the $4.50 Bud Lights on special. They got all sorts of other things, $6 mules. They've got plenty of other appetizer specials as you go through the day. Happy hour on Thursday begins, well, as soon as we came on the air at 2 o'clock. So drop on by, bring your bracket, hang out, watch all the hoop action that's going on right now, and make it one of your stops during the NCAA tournament.
Feel the downforce of 100 horses. Everybody in the crowd on their feet. This Sunday at Miami. Wow! NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Need fresh and flavorful lunch? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durbin Park, or Butler Point at Chicken Salad Chick.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true, and after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase now through March.
Lifetime Enclosures. Big shots that change your bracket.
For the win. And he hit it!
Listen all month for top March moments on 1010XL. Driven by Garber Auto Mall. We can wiggle it.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Spring pickleball, tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? Hurry, time is running out. March is almost over. You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Sign up at sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea. Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control Bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Poker players, the Run Good Poker Series is taking over Best Bet Jacksonville from April 24th to May 4th. Brace yourself for 10 action-packed poker events, including the $1,200 main event with an incredible $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. Event number 1 kicks things off with a $400 no-limit hold'em tournament featuring a $200,000 guarantee. Want your shot? Win your way in through satellites. Your seat is waiting for you in the Run Good Poker Series at Best Bet Jacksonville. Visit bestbetjacks.com for tournament structures and details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. Madness has taken over the sports world and in college basketball. And after a change to the playing field, the Jacksonville Dolphins men's basketball team will have a new schedule for the College Basketball Invitational. The Dolphins were initially slated to face off with Cleveland State in the quarterfinals, but the playing field dropped the team and caused a change to the tournament bracket. They will now play the winner of Manhattan and Incarnate Word in the quarterfinals. This will be Jacksonville's first appearance in the CBI and his 25th appearance in a postseason tournament in their school's history. The number 5 Florida State baseball team travels to its first road series of the season with a matchup against in-state rival Miami. They will be on the road for just the 3rd time in 2025 and the first in a weekend series. 77 degrees at 3:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We are having a good time. Twin Peaks is a great place to hang out if you're watching NCAA tournament basketball. In fact, any of your sports viewing, you can definitely dig it here with a ton of big screens. We're at the corner of Atlantic and Kernan, Twin Peaks. You can drop on by, enjoy happy hour weekdays 2 to 6, and then Sunday through Thursday they bring it back 10 p.m. to close. You got those $4.50 signature peak drafts. Bud Light on special today. You got half off wine by the glass, select shots for $2.99, apps for $4.99. Make sure you drop on by and check it all out. As a matter of fact, over the course of the weekend, I think it's on Sunday, they've got National Chip and Dip Day. Okay, so that's Sunday. Get the epic triple play appetizer with that house-made avocado smash, fire-roasted salsa, chipotle queso, tortilla chips. So celebrate National Chip Day. So we've already seen a little carnage with the first round of games. Mm-hmm. Leon's bracket is officially busted.
Yeah, it is busted already.
And it's because you picked High Point and you picked Louisville.
I put, both of them.
So it does.
It's not a good start, bro.
It's not. It really isn't.
It do suck to start 2-0.
It does.
I will give you that. But we'll be looking at all the other ones. Alabama State, who had that thriller of a finish the other night, to knock off St. Francis. The Hail Mary against St. Francis with how many ticks left on the clock? What was it? Like
0.1?
2.6, something crazy. Was it less than that? It might have been less than that.
0.7.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That's 0.2, I thought.
Yeah. And they were able to get it up and in the basket. So they're playing now Alabama State against Auburn, and they are tied. Just a few things for you guys to think about. And you guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We've been talking about a number of different things, so you guys can definitely jump in. We were talking a little bit about spring football and Kirby Smart and a little hoop action from today. And we got to get into some Jaguar talk coming up. But just a few more things as far as the tournament is concerned. When you start thinking about just how many good storylines and also which one of these teams can kind of survive those big tests that they've got early. So Michigan, they have been one of the popular teams to go down as a 12-over-5. UC San Diego, they've got could have made this a perfecto, but anyway, they got the longest winning streak in America.
The Tritons, Joe.
Yeah. Is it the Tritons that I couldn't get before?
Right.
Yeah, did you go Titans or Tritons?
No, I went Toreros, but that's the University of San Diego, not the University of California, San Diego.
I got you. So UC San Diego, nation's longest winning streak at 15. High Point had the second longest at 14. That one has come to an end. But for UC San Diego's part in this, 15-game win streak, 13 of them by double digits. And so Michigan wins the Big Ten, but then has to have that long travel, and now they've got to take on a red-hot team. You smell an upset? Either one of you cats smell an upset there? No. JJ, did you fill out a bracket for the station?
I did. I had to for the Frangie show.
Okay, all right. So, who was your Final Four, by the way?
I had the Vols, I had the Gators, I have the Blue Devils, and drawing a blank on the last one. But I have
that's
Duke
2
beating
and a 2.
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost had Tennessee beating Houston.
Auburn.
Yeah, So JJ and I were almost identical.
So
I
3
almost
1s
had,
and a 2.
I almost had Tennessee beating because I think they can, but Houston's just so tournament tested, man.
Right.
The last couple years.
Yeah, Tennessee's what's not to like, honestly. Jordan Rainey, and you go down the line with the guys that they have. They are good. But you got the UC San Diego, Michigan. The potential is there. Vanderbilt, St. Mary's has been talked about a lot. Vanderbilt, a team that has knocked off 5 SEC-ranked opponents.
Vandy's a good team.
Okay, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 ranked SEC opponents, and they're the 10, whereas St. Mary's is the 7, coming off the 7 line, and they feel like they've got a chance, maybe to get something rolling coming out of what is that? Is that the Mountain West? I'm trying to think of what that league is that they play in.
What?
Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
No, that's Big West.
Big West. There you go. I wanted to say Mountain West. Oh, my gosh. That is some thick. What did you guys order?
Billionaire bacon.
Billionaire bacon?
Absolutely.
I do like the look of that. That is awesome. I might need an egg and a pita sack to go with it. You know what I mean? All right, so Vandy, figure out whether or not they can get the job done. Who else do you have, like maybe making a little bit of a hot run? You got Oregon against Liberty. Liberty 25-0 when opponents don't get to 70.
All right.
And Oregon likes to get there. They definitely can get up and down the floor. BYU and VCU has been talked about a ton as to whether or not VCU can remain hot. Ryan Odom, a coach that is one of the red hot guys right now in terms of getting another job, but a lot of people trying to figure out whether or not they can win at altitude against BYU.
I like Ole Miss to make a little run, actually.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason behind
they can shoot the ball, and Chris Beard's a terrific coach.
He is a very good coach.
And I mean, they got North Carolina, obviously. North Carolina advanced. They got North Carolina first round. They're going to play the winner of Iowa State Lipscomb, which you would think in theory is Iowa State, but who knows, right? And then the bottom part of that bracket is I think they match up well with Michigan State. I think they could shock Michigan State and get to the 8.
So guess the number of Final Fours between Kentucky and Arkansas's coaches. This is a saucy.
Between Kentucky and Arkansas coaches?
Yeah.
Well, Kentucky is 0.
Well,
Mark Pope's never coached.
I'm sorry. Man, that just took me back in time. Holy crap. Kansas and Arkansas.
Did I just ruin your? Okay, Kansas and Arkansas.
Because I just put Calipari back in Lexington. I'm glad you course corrected me there. How many Final Fours between Kansas
Final
and Arkansas?
Fours.
Yeah.
Between Kansas and Arkansas, I'm going to say 8.
10.
10.
10 Final Fours between Bill Self and.
Well, Kansas has what, 7?
That'd have to be less than that if you're talking about a total of 10 between Self and Calipari. Calipari hadn't gotten there as often.
I thought
as
you were talking about the program. Arkansas.
No. Just these two. Yeah, these two.
Calipari has 6 himself.
6.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
I thought you meant Arkansas and Kansas.
I'm just saying that's a great coaching matchup.
Yeah.
I just happened to put Calipari back in Lexington for a split second. Thank you for correcting that. But it's a good first round game. It really is. Kansas and Arkansas. Arkansas is another one of those tough, battle-tested SEC teams that definitely can get the job done. Kansas has been involved in more embarrassing defeats this year than I think Rock Chalk Jayhawk would have ever expected. Tennessee, we just talked about their chances. You know, they're definitely tough. Wofford, give them trouble.
Yeah,
I would think.
Of course they could.
They're good. They're an accomplished team.
They're also a tournament battle. They've been in this thing before. They know what it's like.
You're looking at second round games if things kind of hold, if maybe an upset or two plays, comes together. Arkansas and Kansas could produce an Arkansas winner, and then St. John's could win, and then that would be Calipari versus Pitino. Another really, really good matchup if those two.
I'll tell you what, the way Xavier shot last night, they could beat Illinois.
Xavier looked really good last night. They came storming back.
That'd be an 11
in that
over a 6.
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean,
Not
it's an
impossible.
upset, but it's also like Xavier's a really good program.
Yeah. Xavier's so up and down, but they needed to come back in a big way last night. They were able to get the job done. A couple of other ones, when you look at the potential, just as far as possible second round games. Louisville's already gone, so forget about them. Our Auburn's now playing. We'll see who they end up facing. It's going to be Creighton if they are able to move on. And then you take a look at UCLA versus Tennessee. Tennessee going up against a team in UCLA with a ton of national championship pedigree. But the last time we saw UCLA is when they came from way down in seeding to make it into the Final Four.
Yeah, they also that's not the typical UCLA roster either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a good one. VCU and BYU is going to be a fun game.
Oh, very much so.
BYU can score.
Yeah.
BYU can shoot the ball. If BYU can get out of that game, I think that's a dangerous game. Then they might make a little run. I mean, Wisconsin now looks like they're going to hold off Montana. They're up 16 with 8 to go, 9 to go.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got a nice, like if BYU wins that game, that's a nice BYU-Wisconsin second round game.
See, I already have Wisconsin getting knocked out, but Wisconsin's the one that I can't quite figure them out. I really can't. I can't figure out Michigan and Wisconsin, the two teams that made it to the Big Ten championship game. I've got Michigan State going the deepest among the Big Ten teams.
You got them in your final?
Yeah, in the Final Four.
Wow.
Going up against Florida. And look, maybe it's just a little bit of that Izzo love and just looking at them as,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, once they kind of get it right and get it figured out, they definitely are tough. We know how they are just in terms of what they can do.
Right.
But there's a few other ones that we could definitely be looking at. Other potential matchups that we were talking about, and we mentioned the idea of maybe Pitino going up against Calipari. You start going through some of the other ones that are out there. Rick Pitino and his son are both in the field. St. John's and New Mexico would not meet unless they made it to the Final Four.
Right.
Scott and Bryce Drew are back with Baylor and Grand Canyon, which is also kind of cool because they definitely were accomplished players, coaches, so on and so forth.
Grand Canyon's a good team, too. They get up and down the court.
Yeah,
They're fun to watch.
I might have penciled them in as a little bit of an upset.
I mean, Maryland's solid. I don't know if they beat Maryland. Maryland is solid.
Yeah, Maryland just isn't deep enough, are they?
They're really good. Probably 7 deep.
Yeah.
6, 7 deep. Plus they're athletic. That's a very good Maryland team.
All right, I'm looking at a couple of other possibilities as far as matchups go that could be really good, that can help kind of push along this NCAA tournament storyline. Auburn and Michigan State, if they were to hang on, Tom Izzo.
Be a
obviously.
fun game.
Oh my
man.
gosh, yeah.
That
would be really
You're talking
good.
about that Michigan State defense against Auburn's shooters.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
against Johnny.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Florida v. St. John's. When you just think about what happened earlier in the year, Florida was picked to finish 6th in the SEC, and then St. John's is doing stuff that, Rick Pitino, no one expected to happen this fast when he got there.
Yeah, but I mean, if St. John's wants to run with Florida, you're literally signing your death warrant.
Yeah, because
but that's what they do.
They're
not going to get out of what they do.
Well, no, but they still
press and they run.
Yeah, but they play better defense. St. John's does than offense.
Right, well, they press. That's why.
Yeah. They don't score as much as they. So you're right. Just be careful. Duke, as we said, you can't help but start to look at them. Duke and Bama, I think if we do get to the Elite Eight, that's definitely going to be an awesome, awesome setup. All right, so you guys let us know what you're thinking as far as some of the great matchups, because that's what the NCAA Tournament Committee does. They're smart that way. They'll figure out a way to blind.
They say they don't, by the way.
No, of course they lie.
Right.
They look at the potential.
They line up best TV games. Of course they do.
All right, so Montana trailing by 9. 13 minutes to go in this game. We'll
12
see
now.
if they can fight back. 12 now? Okay, yeah, there you go.
Actually, it's 15
now.
Yeah. Oh, my. That happened
Wisconsin's
fast.
a good team, man.
I need to quit looking at that television.
They
Forget about
got
it.
hot in the last month of the
My
season.
gosh, I was looking at highlights or something, and then all of a sudden they just added 5 more points to it. All right, good stuff. XL Primetime from Twin Peaks as we hang out on the opening day of your NCAA tournament. You're going to be able to enjoy tournament coverage throughout the entire from 64 down to number 1 right here on the Superstation. XL Primetime hanging out at Atlantic and Kernan, Twin Peaks. Come on by and watch some hoop.
Real power lies in understanding.
The power of a shared goal. The power of Jacksonville Sports Radio. 1010XL.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors to get the job done right, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit Coastal Equipment for a demo today.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
The trip of the summer is coming. Live. Collective Soul. Summer Unity Tour 2025. Daly's Place, Friday, August 8th. Special guest, Graylin James Rue. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Live. Collective Soul. Together. The road to the playoffs is paved by a strong off-season.
That is the game within the game.
Navigate the way with AA Automotive at 1010XL.
That's a beautiful thing.
AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company is Fleming Island's first and only craft brewery, founded by the co-founder and brewmaster of Wicked Barley. Barley and Pie serves up local brews made right in your backyard. Hungry? Dive into their sourdough Neapolitan pizza, made fresh in-house every day. Find your new go-to spot in Fleming Island at Barley and Pie Brewing Company.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's exclusive 31-day spring event. Experience superior craftsmanship and timeless design with buy one, get one 40% off custom replacement windows and patio doors. Enjoy the ease of 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
What are you doing? What? Did you just double dip that chip? Excuse me? You double dipped the chip. Double dipped? What are you talking about? You dipped the chip, you took a bite, and you dipped again. So? That's like putting your whole mouth right in the dip. Look, from now on, when you take a chip, just take one dip and end it.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That is just beautiful. One of the classic scenes, and what's so good about it more than anything else is it was at a funeral. Okay, so you had to appreciate that more than anything else. And we love it because we mentioned earlier that it was National Chip and Dip Day this weekend, and you can dip right here at Twin Peaks where you can score big. And one of our primetimers text in the 718, if you double dip in my house, I'll sick the dingo on you. So JJ had to pull the clip just so we could remind ourselves of that one. Just dip once and end it. It's just beautiful.
The thing is like those two are so brilliant, Seinfeld and Larry David. Imagine them. Imagine like being a fly on the wall and those two sitting down and riffing with each other and coming up with these ideas and these jokes.
I always tell the story, and it doesn't do it justice, but when they first decided to do it, they said, let's just try and make something. They made something, and basically the way Hollywood works is you take it to what's called, I think, front sell or up front, something like that. And they said, do it. And then they came back and said, we love it. We want 10 more. And Jerry and Larry are like, what? This is it. This is all we've got. And then when they wanted 10 more, they felt like they tapped themselves out again. But every single one of them was just so simple genius. Okay, you take one thing, and basically they created 3 different storylines, or however many they wanted to intermingle
that eventually connected at the end.
It was so it was just so good. It really, really was. But you say just take one dip and end it. Well, that's what's happened here with some of these tournament teams. They've taken one dip in the NCAA tournament pool, and it is over. As a matter of fact, Louisville going down. Those bourbon swillers are not happy with this because they thought Louisville might go a little ways. As a matter of fact, let's make that a that right now.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So with the Louisville loss to Creighton, 54% of the brackets on ESPN are now busted. One game. 54% of the brackets.
I'm guessing Max, who's engineering with us, and Leon raises his hand too. His is busted as well because they had to have Louisville because Max looked at it and went, oh my God, already half of them are gone. And that's how it happened. That's how quickly it happens. And so, by the time we get to tonight or tomorrow night, you're going to see some unbelievable numbers there were something like, I don't know what the final numbers, 18, 19, 20 million that entered at ESPN, including the church lady and the other ones. And they're all taking a hit right now. Who was that? The beautiful Will Wade?
The beautiful Will Wade, who's got his teams getting on the court right now against Clemson.
I know he can coach. He can coach his fanny off. And I did pick McNeese State.
He just cheats, that's all. It's like Bill Self. Bill Self can coach his fanny off, too. He just cheats.
Well, yeah, they all need players and resources and everything like that. I did pick McNeese to pick off Clemson, and the only reason I did it is because one of the kids, I think it's Hunter, I think I have it right, for Clemson in the ACC tournament, broke his hand, and he's one of the key players, and so not having him definitely is going to hurt. That's Clemson with a P, ladies and gentlemen, and a Z. Just make sure you get that right. Yeah, make sure you get that right. But I do not have them moving on. I picked McNeese. At least I did I think I have it at least in one of my brackets. Who filled out more than one bracket? I know you guys did different versions.
Just one.
I might have done 2 versions. I admitted to Mark
yours
Wise
and
the other day.
TLDs or just yours?
No, I'm in 2 different. I entered the one here. And then I went and got in the church lady pool, and I started picking them online. I'm like, I'm going to change it up. So I just moved. I moved it in a slightly
It's weird. I would
direction.
never think that you did multiple brackets.
I had to
you of all people,
trying to play the odds. Just trying to play the odds. And listen, I'm gonna find a winner out there somehow, some way. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. All right. So we were talking a little bit earlier about what was going on with the Jags and the teams in the AFC that have basically stepped forward after free agency. And I think it's a good way to kind of set it up here right now, just because this team, by most people's standards, the Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't do a whole hell of a lot in the free agent market. And if they did, the analysts, the talking heads basically said, you spent too much money on that one. You spent too much money on that one. That's a 30-year-old. That guy lost his job. And I think those are all fair criticisms. They signed a guy, Leon, that they think might be able to come in and compete at center that lost his job down at Tampa.
Rookie. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so they did that. They signed a 30-year-old in Barry to come in from Houston that they hope can lend some leadership. But he is a little older. They signed Lewis and made him the highest paid at his position to come in. And we can name a few others. Yeah. But did they do what they needed to do?
Well, I mean, they brought in a bunch of serviceable players. I mean, nothing really splashed. They brought in serviceable guys who reserve guys, swing guys, could start guys. I mean, nothing definite. Nothing where you could say this guy we brought in here to be a starter. The guys that they brought in here, especially at the offensive line position, I'll look at that. I mean, they're going to be competing. There's no one. There's serviceable guys who played. Well, I mean, the guy from the Ravens, he started 1 year.
Yeah.
Your guy, can't remember his name right now. The offensive lineman.
Patrick McCary.
Yeah,
McCary.
McCary. He had 1 year of starting, but other guys are just, in my opinion, just rotational, serviceable guys who may help with the depth chart, but nothing really where you could say, we got somebody lined up that's going to serve us good. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's, I hate to use this word. I think that they hope it will be better than what they have.
Mm-hmm. Hope is not the answer.
I know, bro. Hope is not a plan. I say it all the time. But I think that's what it is. I think when Joe said that yesterday, it kind of actually half blew my mind. When he said, "How do you know they're not going to eventually release Ezra Cleveland?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "All right, maybe that's what they've done. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they've done. Maybe they'll trade him before the draft."
I was going to say, how about
maybe they'll draft his replacement?
Right. Yeah. I was going to say, if I rephrase that, they could be drafting his replacement, or they could be creating competition to end his starter's role here, and it will be wasted money. But I think right now they've reached a point where they don't care. They need to either lop off contracts or put butts on the bench that aren't getting the job done in favor of other guys.
Well, my only concern with that is when you come to the presser and say that the offensive line needs to be upgraded.
Right.
I don't know if it has been.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know if it has been. I don't know if they is anybody that they brought in free agency where you say, wow, that guy's going to change the culture or change the dynamics of the offensive line.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, okay?
Yeah.
They were horrible last year.
Yeah, they were. They were
so
bad.
Maybe the three they brought in.
My answer will be McCary.
Maybe they'll be better.
As far as I'm just going to set that over here. My answer will be McCary as far as changing a little bit of the culture, because he blocked for a pretty dang good running game, a dynamic quarterback in Lamar.
Well, Derrick Henry had 1,400 yards rushing behind a bad offensive line.
Yeah.
So a decent offensive line, he had 1,900. He was 1/5 of that offensive line.
Right.
Granted.
He was. There were 6 members of that offensive line. One of them was him, right?
No, I'm just saying, I'm trying to find anybody where I could say where I can look at their resume and their film and say, wow, that he's going to really help our offensive line. It's going to be an upgrade. I think who they brought in is probably as bad as the offensive line was. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little upgrade, maybe a slight upgrade.
So what you're saying is what you've seen on tape of those guys, they're just guys.
It's no wild effect.
So let me
I don't get a wild effect. Maybe when in training camp, when I go out there and watch them, then I can assess that position by position, that's an upgrade. But until I see that, you're talking about serviceable guys who've been rotational guys, who've been fit-ins wherever they've gone. Mm-hmm. Nothing staple enough to you would say, man, he's been a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year starter with
I
a team.
agree with that.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
honestly, if that's your criticism, it is 100% spot on. It's warranted. It's fair. It's all that. But let me give you an example. Tennessee. They had a pretty bad offensive line. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They went out and got Dan Moore Jr., signed him to a nice, hefty, sizable contract. Right? They pluck him from Pittsburgh, and there's not a whole lot of raving about him in terms of, wow, they got him a good one. But they did plug a hole. Mm-hmm. He is an okay guy, not a great guy. Yeah. Better than Cam Robinson. That's why they went in that direction. At least that's what people think up in Nashville. They go and get Kevin Zeitler, who's been around for a long time. That guy should have been signed by this team, 5-6 years ago? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when he was in the hopper?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been around a little bit. They signed a couple of guys on the defensive side. They say goodbye to Harold Landry, which was one of their better pass rushers. They say goodbye to one of their wide receivers that was able to step up and make plays for him in Westbrook-Ikini. And they say goodbye to Kenneth Murray. Did Tennessee get that much better?
Right, but I think the way why it's different here.
I'm just trying to compare inside the South.
I understand, but I think why it's different here is Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback. This team's now in year 5 of a number 1 overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
It's imperative that they get it right. With Tennessee, you might be thinking, all right, we're in a rebuild, and they can try different things. There's no more trying anything with this team. If they don't get the offensive line right, you're gonna waste another year of this quarterback.
Yeah, well, I think both teams are on bad clocks just in terms of either leadership or all the decisions that they've made that haven't worked out.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to fire a coach. They probably should not have fired a coach, but they did. They ended up firing the GM who fired the coach a year later, basically. They wondered if they were going to fire their first-year coach in Brian Callahan. They've already said no to Will, and they're going to move on past Levis. So there's a lot of undone things going on up in Nashville.
There is
nowhere near where they would.
There's no doubt there is, but they can all, at least for this year, they can always say, well, we don't have the quarterback.
Sure.
Whereas this franchise, you cannot say that.
No.
Like, you've wasted 4 years with this cat.
Right.
So you got to do something.
Oh, yeah. And I just feel like right now, all we're looking at, instead of all the ruin that has taken place up until this point, which is pretty obvious, now we got to just kind of hit the reset button. It has sucked. 2 of the 3 years. 2 of the 3 years?
Of the 4.
3
and a half of the 4.
Yeah, 3.5 of the 4. Because, whatever, you have 1.5 good
I will
years
say
of
3 of the 4. I mean, he didn't really play that well in the first half of 23. But, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it was decent enough.
Right, decent enough to go 8-3.
Right. And so all I'm saying is that it's been a very much a mixed bag.
Yes. That's putting it like graciously.
Yeah, it really is. It's Mr. Nice Guy comment right there. But he needs to.
There are people around the league who think he's a bust.
Yeah, he needs to be better.
Yeah.
You guys know I've been beating that drum as much as I like the possibilities of what I see. He's got to be better. And I think better around him will make him better. And he has to charge himself. He has to, the classic that, and I use Baker Mayfield as an example. Baker Mayfield looked around and go, you know what? That team's done with me. I went to that team. They're done with me. I went to another team to end the year. They're done with me.
Baker looked in the mirror.
Yeah, he looked and he said, my God, man, I've got to be better.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you hit rock bottom, there's no way. There's only one thing you can do is go up. And Baker Mayfield, at some particular, he was considered a bust.
Yeah.
When he left Cleveland, he was considered a bust.
Yeah.
He was moving around to different teams. He was getting spot time at different teams, at different games, and we was like, this is going to be his career. I was thinking that he could be a backup for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But then he gets the opportunity in Tampa, and he shines, and now he's got a hefty contract.
I was texting back with one of our Primetimers, and he mentioned, he goes, Baker played for 4. I'm like, yeah, I do remember that he played for the Rams, but the graphic I was looking at had only listed 3 teams. But he went out there. I want to say he went out there, claimed on a Tuesday, because he basically asked Carolina, if I remember right, let me go.
He had 3 days of practice.
Yeah, just
won a game.
Yeah, just let me go. Yep. And he got 3 days of practice, and he went out and played a night game under the lights and played well. And then he used whatever the remaining weeks of that season was, and that we're going back to 22. And then he catches on with Tampa in 23 after Tommy says goodbye, and he has reclaimed his career. Yeah. But real quick, just to wrap this up, the AFC South is in a churn right now. Tennessee, like we just listed, they don't know exactly who they are or who's leading them. Indy doesn't exactly know who they are or who's leading them. They went and got Daniel Jones to compete with Anthony Richardson. Shane Steichen is a good coach, but is he going to be on the hot seat in year 3? Probably. C.J. Stroud, while good, regressed a little bit.
But the Texans got better.
Yeah, they still won.
And they went out and added pieces.
Yeah. Well, we'll look at that coming up in a second, because they did look, they're ruling the AFC South right now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it until you do something about it. That's as simple as it gets. It is XL Primetime from Twin Peaks right here at Atlantic and Kernan, NCAA tournament time. This is day 1. Can't wait to see how today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday unfolds. You can make Twin Peaks one of your stops to hang out and watch it all.
Now, another March update, served up hot by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Florida Pest Control.
I'm Molly McDonald with your March Madness NCAA tournament update. It's day 1 of the madness, and taking a look through round 1, we have 9-seeded Creighton, who won this afternoon, advancing to round 2. Will take on the winner of the Auburn versus Alabama State game, with first-seeded Auburn currently leading closely 28-24 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. 2 other winners who will continue to dance through to round 2 will be 4-seeded Purdue, who took down the 13th-seeded High Point this afternoon 75-63, along with 3rd-seeded Wisconsin Badgers after surging over Montana 85-66. Other games currently still in play, we have 1st-seeded Houston, who continues to dominate against 16th-seeded SIU Edwardsville 68-31 with 8 minutes to play in the second half. Just tipping off are the 5th-seeded Clemson Tigers leading against 12th-seeded McNeese 6-4 early to play in the first half. Stay tuned in to 1010XL for all your March Madness scores and matchups all day today and tomorrow.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, monster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Spring is in the air. Time to wake up your lawn with Heroes Lawn Care. Say goodbye to pesky mosquitoes with their organic and spray treatments. Perfect for outdoor fun. Keep your lawn clean and fresh with their pet waste removal for homes and businesses. Heroes Lawn Care takes care of it all. From mowing, edging, fertilizer, to irrigation, and much more. Visit heroeslawncare.com.
Every morning that you wake up in a pest-free home is a good morning. And with Florida Pest Control's Pest-Free 365 service, you can. It's more than just a pest control or preventative maintenance plan. It's Florida Pest Control's promise that we'll be there providing pest-free living for your family all year long. And right now, our initial pest service is just $99. To learn more about our Pest-Free 365 service and to schedule your $99 initial pest service, visit flapest.com today.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic.
You're apo what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow. I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but...
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey, folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it. they do it, whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway, the reason why I love NCAA basketball during this time is I'm watching right now Auburn, who's the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Being taken to the wood, well, not quite taken to the woodshed, but Alabama State is within 2 with 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first half. This is what I'm talking about. I love
Best conference of all time, Leon.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at you guys jumping in.
I know I'm off the, listen.
You guys
I got
jumping in, man.
Yeah, I got off the, what was it, the High Point hype train, and now I'm back on Alabama State.
So Auburn was up 15. Now it's Auburn by 3 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. I will tell you this. I told you guys this in the break. My takeaway is I saw Bruce Pearl's, the look on his face before the game started, right as he sat down. He looked like someone like shot his dog. He looked like literally violently ill, like something was wrong. I think he knew his team wasn't ready for this game. He looked like, oh my God, this is not good right now. Mm-hmm. And if you look at this team, they're kind of going through the motions right now.
They're 1-3 in their last 4 games.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from whoever is hot at the right time. And Alabama State, Leon, you probably just said it a minute ago. I know you said it at the break, but it's house money for them.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They don't have anything to lose.
Nothing to lose. Shoot your shot.
Stretch it out. And by the way, this is the Iron Bowl State. Instead of the Iron Bowl, it's Iron Bowl State because they're going up against Alabama State. And why not? We're talking about a school that doesn't get mentioned hardly at all in the state of Alabama. And there's a chance for them to maybe do something. And War Eagle right now has got to be freaking out just a little bit.
The Alabama fans. If Alabama State wins this game, Alabama fans will just be relentless on Auburn.
Oh, they'll be on them so hard. Listen, I had one of my Bama boys yesterday just getting all over Hugh Freeze when we were having our discussion. And don't think for a moment they won't slide over to the hoop world to have some fun. But these teams or these games have a habit of course correcting in the second half.
They do.
And we'll see where it goes. We'll see what Brucey does. But
we can very easily win by 25.
Yeah, easily.
But we mentioned what has Bruce Pearl done? Is he considered one of the better coaches in college basketball right now? He's got to be able to get the job done. All right, let's get back real quick to our conversation. And this will be a never-ender during the offseason. But I do like to maintain that any football team that's built in the offseason, and Leon always tells us about this, but it's free agency plus draft, okay? That's your offseason math. Mm-hmm. And so just to finish up the conversation, we mentioned Indy hadn't done a whole heck of a lot, but they now have a quarterback competition. We went through them. We went through Tennessee, and we went through Jacksonville. Houston, they take the contract for Christian Kirk, okay? We're sitting here talking about getting rid of it. They take it. Mm-hmm. Laken Tomlinson, he has been an up and down interior lineman. Not going to say he's terrible, not going to say he's great, but he's okay. They went and signed him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a good player, but also an aging player. Sheldon Rankins, up and down. Would you not agree?
Yeah.
And then Ed Ingram. I almost had him take Evan too, but Ingram, an interior lineman. They lost Murray, who comes over here. Laramie Tunsil, they lose, which is a very, very solid quality tackle protecting the blind side of C.J. Stroud. How much better do they make themselves? How much better?
No
clearly
splash.
you're better with Tunsil. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Christian Kirk signing in a lot of ways is not knowing how serious the injury for Tank Dell is. Because Tank Dell had a very serious injury late in the year. And so I just know that all these teams are all trying to figure out where to plug and play. Nick Caserio has done a decent job. They were able to have an okay free agent class this last year. It's not like all those guys flashed for them. but they definitely got some good play out of him. Stephon Diggs definitely was good before he got hurt. Joe Mixon, very solid year.
Yeah.
And they were able to get a couple of big-time plays, splash plays out of Autry and out of Hunter. So they're still the team to beat. But if you take a look, like I'm just looking at one example, Jacksonville in terms of AFC teams. This is CBS Sports kind of ranking them down near the bottom. Shocking, right? Shocking.
Frisco.
Yeah.
Okay, that son of a gun. They put the Miami Dolphins among the top half in the AFC. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. They went and got a couple of guys, one of them being Zach Wilson, okay, as their backup at quarterback. Nick Westbrook-Akini, who is a good player. He didn't catch a lot of balls up in Tennessee, but when he did catch them, they just happened to be in the end zone. James Daniels, they got a couple of other guys, plug-and-play guys, but they said goodbye to Robert Jones, had to replace him. Said goodbye to Javon Holland, had to replace him.
Yeah.
How much better were they? You know, I think that's how you got to look at it.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess. I just prefer to look at it as what's in your backyard.
Right.
And
I'm just trying to do the compare and contrast.
No, I know you are. I know you are. But I think it is the best way to, like, grow and develop a team is just worry about you. Mm-hmm. Just worry about you. You got to get better. And I agree with Leon. I think it's questionable. Did they get better? I don't know. Maybe they are better than what they had on the line. Let's hope they are.
Yeah.
Because that line was not good last year.
No, I think most people would agree with that. And there were so many things that didn't go well for this football team, you couldn't zero in on any one thing. Okay, this team gave up scores and scores of yards through the passing game. They gave up too many points. They couldn't score, or they would start slow or not finish strong, and just too many one-score losses.
Plus, the jury's way out right now. You still got a huge hole at receiver, a huge hole at corner, a huge hole on the interior defensive line.
And offensive line.
I mean, there's still a lot of additions that need to be made before they're even at the point of saying, all right, I like where we're headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no getting away from that. You know who might be able to chime in on something like this?
Sure you will.
Yeah.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
You know what I love about 1010XL 92.5 FM is that we are all over town. And we have got the Frangie Show with the Embedded and Shredded. Hayes Carline holed up at the Dart Bar. Hayes, welcome in, bro. How you doing?
Thank you, gentlemen. We are super excited to be here at the Dart Bar here in Riverside. Really fun place. I've never been in here before, but great vibe. They've got, obviously, tons of beer and lots of games in here as well. So really fun place. We're looking forward to spending our afternoon and evening here watching some hopefully great basketball, and hope your brackets are all doing great, gentlemen.
So did you have Alabama State taking out number 1 seed Auburn?
I did not. I will say I have Texas A&M beating Auburn in the Sweet 16. So A&M beat Auburn towards the latter part of the regular season. I think they're a physical nightmare to prepare for. So I think the fact that, they – look, Creighton may beat Auburn. I mean, I think Auburn will be fine today, even though they're probably disappointed how close it is. But Auburn will be fine today. But, I mean, look, Creighton looked outstanding in basically what was a road game. Thanks for showing up, Louisville, in your own home state. Get down by 15 at the half and allow Creighton to shoot 57% from the field. But
is that not good?
But that's not good. That's not ideal. So I think Auburn's got a really tough path. So we'll see. They're a great team. Maybe they'll overcome it.
What about McNeese State, Carline? And now they're McNeese, no longer McNeese State.
The Will Wades.
The Will Wades. They're up
Will Wades.
6 early on Clemson.
He's a pioneer, and you can never count out a pioneer when it comes to the world of college sports. So that's an interesting one. That's obviously the 12-5, 1 of 4. So that's always a hot zone for a potential upset. So I haven't. What's the update on that? Is McNeese
14
is up 6? They're up 6 with 10 to go in the first half.
Wow. How about
It's a
that? All
wrap.
right. So,
It's a wrap.
It's a good start. That's what you need. These Cinderella teams, they're never going to rally back. So you gotta get like a 5-6 point lead, early on, and just sort of hang in and hope you can take it at the final whistle. So
all right, tell them real quick how to get to the Dart Bar.
Yeah, the Dart Bar, it's right here, Park Street, and close to the there's a Walgreens CVS right here on the corner, but right in Riverside. It's on King Street. So come see us. We'll obviously be here watching some great basketball and meeting some new friends.
All right, dude, sounds good. We'll be listening. I love that area. That's the hipster Hayes car line for the day right now. You got the Francis Show coming up next. Thanks to Twin Peaks for hanging out or letting us hang out and hosting us. We appreciate it. You can find them here all tournament long. Big Searcy, Maddie, Joe C. Thanks to Max for engineering here. Back to JJville.